How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto, and I would like to start this video off with a prediction, and that's, I believe, very wholeheartedly, and I stand by this statement that we are in the midst of what's going to amount to be a Great Depression, great, more than a recession, on a global level. But that's not the prediction. That's more common sense. I think that's people can see that sort of is for anybody who's paying attention, seems to be what's loading coming on down the pipeline. What we need to understand, though, is that at the heart of my prediction is that I believe people will look towards our little communities that we've built in the cryptocurrency space right now, and I think in the very much the same way we saw, today, people will go and they'll look at the archives of what people were saying about Bitcoin back in like 2012, 2010, 2011. Early Bitcoin social media posts are sort of a meme now because people are like, oh, I sold my 10 Bitcoin for $100 kind of thing. Like maybe I should have waited until it went up to $120 value. It sort of is going to be that kind of a meme, I would say. And I think that, anything that every time you press you load a comment onto a message board and you comment about cryptocurrency, I think you are in effect making history, and that sort of is at the heart of my prediction, because I think right now we're at the midst of a blockchain revolution, and DigiByte in sort of the whole Bitcoin-esque, the entirety of the cryptocurrency space is at the heart of this paradigm shift that we're currently witnessing happening. And will be very interesting to see. So we have banking on Africa, the Bitcoin revolution. So a new crypto documentary promises to tell the story of how cryptocurrency can affect social change across the African continent. Another week after, another cryptocurrency documentary review, although Banking on Africa, the Bitcoin revolution, released May 22nd, promises something a little different for a start amongst the usual Crypto 101 and industry overview fair focus on how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is transforming the African continent. Feels like a breath of fresh air after all wasn't banking the unbanked, one of the noble use cases for Bitcoin before it became all about the price. In addition, most documentaries have an accompanying in-depth 37-page report allowing viewers to dive deeper into the state of cryptocurrency, in particular in Africa, and follow up on the topics covered in the film. Life-changing stories of how crypto is transforming the continent. Strong theme that so it is interesting because this is something that I always do bring up. It's the fact that you look at United States, you look at Canada, you look at Europe, and these are places in the world that have a lot of red tape, of finances. So of course, when we look at somewhere like Singapore, which has sort of leveraged cryptocurrency and made it so that there is there's an incentive there, it'll really mean the difference between who is the leader of the future paradigm and who gets left behind. In particular, which is why I brought the start of this video up with sort of the global, the recession sort of situation that we see looming on the horizon. And I do have a video about that, which I'm going to play in just a few minutes once I get my original theme out of the way. And I think that it is very interesting just to see how, right now, we could see the entire financial system as we know it completely flipped upside down, in a way that only something like digital assets has the power to do, and it will be very interesting, especially while we see cashlessness is something that isn't it's sort of it might have hit people by surprise, but now real estate and gold's catalysts might soon back the the fastest horse. So is Bitcoin ready to support people during global uncertainties, or is it still in its experimental phase? This question never gets old. However, if analyzed carefully, history stands proof to the fact that Bitcoin is indeed a reliable alternative. Traditional investors entering the crypto market over the past few years only make the narrative stronger. So this quote right here, there's no way BTC won't work. It's a highly, it's highly unlikely. Structurally, Bitcoin couldn't be better set up. Interest rates dropping, the excess printing of the US dollar, and additionally, the recent halving, the magnitude with which BTC rose back up following the March market crash is incredible, and I think that is something that should be a bold face thing on everybody's mind. Just the how Bitcoin did recover, and I don't think that March was the worst of it. I think it was sort of the calm before the storm. The real economic impact of a lot of the money circulation hasn't really come home. The chickens sort of haven't come home to roost yet. Bitcoin altcoins future might depend on how CBDC's rally once launched. This is interesting. Quote two: everyone in China who has a bank account will have a DCEP inherently. In fact, if you look at it, DCEP works without internet access and is better than e-payments. And when compared to cash, banks can keep track of the cash inflow, thus reducing the scam. So it will that is another topic for another day. And this is another one that we're going to talk about, the nature and origin of money. But first, I want to look into this article right here about DigiByte, the positive returns undercut by declining market trend. Over the past 24 hours, many of the market's major altcoins. I don't know. It is interesting, but I think I'm bullish on DigiByte. But in terms of the reason I bring that article up first is because we're going to play this right here, which is Welcome to the Greater Depression. This is the structure that we have. So let's watch it, and then we'll continue on with the video.
So what do you mean by a depression? Okay, something like happened in the 1930s. So just to repeat, 1929 to 1932, there was a fall in the economy and a very double-digit unemployment rates and a magnitude of fall in the economy like about 10%. Do I think we're in that? Yes. How was that dealt with? 1933. What they did is they printed a lot of money. And the government came out with the same type of programs that we're having now. Yes. Okay. Same thing. Zero interest rates hit zero. Same thing. Okay. Same dynamics. And then there is that money causes an expansion from that point. How long does it take for the stock market to exceed its highs? Or how long does it take for the economy to exceed its former highs? A long time. Okay, do I think that's what we're in? Yes, that's what we're in. We've seen that happen repeatedly in.
So definitely interesting. I mean, he says it just about as well as any of us could. The info is there. It's just something I wanted to share. But anyway, the nature and origin of money. So this brings me to my next point. In the early stages of trade, when economizing individuals are only slow awakening to the knowledge of the economic gains that can be derived from exploration of existing exchange opportunities. I think you guys can read this article if you want, but this is the quote I wanted to add in. Money is not an invention of the state. It is not the product of a legislative act. Even the sanction of political authority is not necessarily for its existence. Certain commodities came to be money quite naturally as the result of economic relationships that were independent of the power of the state, which is definitely speaks to Bitcoin and where we could see DigiByte. I am bullish on DigiByte. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember, I'm not your dad. I'm not your financial advisor. Remember to do your own research on this space. Come to your own conclusions. And if you watched all the way to the end, make sure that you subscribe. If you like my commentary and all that stuff, definitely comment down below and let us know what you thought about this episode. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope everybody's staying safe, staying healthy, staying sane, and I'll see you guys next one. Have a good one.